Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. I'm Lucy McMonagle. I am the host, and I am on a movement to create this world a better place. If you are listening to this, please make sure that you share this episode with your friends, your family, and your tribe, because together as a collaborative, we can all do our part to create conscious wealth, create conscious communities, and to make this world a better place. Stay tuned for our next featured guest. Welcome to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show. Today I'm so incredibly excited. We have Andrea Nicole King, and she has the ability to see small things that make a big difference when it comes to flow and productivity. She uses this gift and Feng Shui to help people find their purpose, improve their work environment, and create a life that they designed so that they can thrive in it. So Andrea, I'm so excited to have you on the Wealthy Wednesday show. We've talked extensively and I'm just enamored by your skills and your gifts. You've got that ego view where you can just look at something and boom, you just know how to help people get into that flow. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lucy. Thanks. It's great to be here. I'm really excited to be here today.
Wow. You have this ability to really understand the feng shui and how feng shui works. And you also have this term, you call it floganize, which is flow and organize put together. And I think I just slaughtered that word.
You did it. You did a great job, actually.
Oh,
I made that word up. It did not exist before I put those two words together. So lots of people slaughter, and that's okay. But the whole point is, flow and organize. So that's the name of the business.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit on how to floganize your business through feng shui?
Mm-hmm. So when I started this, it became obvious to me that this is something that was a natural process for me. I've been doing it my whole life. I go into a space and it's a little bit of OCD, I'll be really honest. I put my OCD, that's, the healthy kind, I guess, into an effective tool. And I use it to create spaces that feel really good. And I can walk into a space and I feel like something doesn't feel right here. And it might be like there's not enough light or the furniture's weird. So literally the flow in the room isn't working. And when I learned Feng Shui, it sort of solidified all of that and put it into a perspective where I was like, okay, this helps me explain it to people. So I use Feng Shui to really relate it to people. Because it's thousands of years old and there's so many people that already understand and agree with it, that it really helps me connect on that level. And a lot of times I'll get, like intuitively I'll understand something, but then I can use those words to communicate it more easily.
Wow. And that's so perfect. And a lot of individuals who practice feng shui, I myself is one. Mm-hmm. And I kind of intuitively sort of do stuff. Mm-hmm. But I mean, your gift is completely off the charts. I mean, when I met you in person, you were just so able to just pink, pink, pink. And you even knew my car before you even knew what car I was driving. And it was so amazing because you have this flow about you and this ability. So can you explain, like for individuals who are listening to this, we have a couple of different tips that, like what can they look for to kind of get ready to maybe ask you for your assistance?
Sure. Yeah. It's a lot about feeling, and it really does come down to, are you comfortable in your space? Do you feel good in your space? Are you inspired? Are you resting? Are you all of it? If you go in your kitchen to make food, is your kitchen set up effectively? So making food is a joyful thing. So feeding yourself is a joyful thing. Is your bedroom or your living room somewhere where you actually want to rest, where you want to sit down and read a book? Or, is there piles of clutter or, things just don't feel right where you avoid things? Another thing we really like to look at that's fun is, where do you stash your stuff? So do you have a room in your house or a closet or a garage is kind of common, where you just put stuff? and you ignore it. So all of these areas in our homes are related to different areas in our lives. And the Feng Shui map, the Bagua is what it's called, helps you understand where in your house these areas are related to. So there's your relationships area, your wealth area, your career area, all these different, there's 9 different areas in this map that you can understand what you're doing and how it's connected to these areas in your life. So it's interesting to get validation. And when I work with people, I find out a lot of the times that they have already intuitively, like you're saying, you kind of intuitively have already put things in areas because it seems right. And then when you learn about the feng shui behind it, this is, like I said, thousands of years of agreement. So it's very validating, and there's a lot of collective energy behind that, supporting that part of your life. So I'm in my office, which is also in the relationships area of my house. So the 2 giraffes are very intentional because the relationships area, you put things in twos, pairs, connection, relationships. And my business is all about building relationships and helping people connect to each other and themselves and their environment. So when I was intuitively instructed to move into this office with, I had it in a different room, it felt strange at first. And then I understood, like, no, this is, your business is relationships, and relationships between people and their stuff and people and each other. And it's all very perfect. So.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and it's fun. Yeah. People have those like aha moments. Oh my gosh, my brother and I have been fighting, and I've been, putting all of this junk in my guest room, which is in my family relationships area. It's really interesting.
Oh, yes, that's extremely interesting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of clients that had these huge epiphanies and huge realizations working with you. Can you give us some examples of what will individuals, what have you've done for individuals with these realizations that they've had?
I'll go back to the garage. A good friend of mine, we were working on her whole house, but we were in her garage, and that's related to her career space in her house. And what she would do is come home and then unload her car into her garage, just into a pile. And there was like this whole pile of stuff that she just unloaded it so she could keep going. And then you go in the house and close the door so you don't have to deal with it. So we looked at that, and I said, what is this about? And, so there's a lot of personal work with it too, and acknowledging like why you're doing it. But after we kind of cleaned that up and we kind of came up with a process, like, yes, you can certainly keep doing this. Unload your car in your garage, but use this box. And when this box is full, sort it to where it needs to go. So it's creating kind of a process and a system that keeps it from getting out of hand. Because if that's her pattern, she may not break that pattern, and that's okay. So after we worked with that and she started getting in that system, she had a huge increase in her career, and the way that she was able to do what she loves and become more successful as that person. So it's interesting when you give it attention and energy to it. And you don't have to, we're human beings. We live in our spaces. We have stuff, but it's managing it. And I have acronyms, actually, speaking of stuff, that I came up with, because it's managing the things that we need and the things that we just have. Yes. So if you'd like to hear my acronyms.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very curious.
I turn stuff into things, which stuff is something that undermines free flow.
Oh, I love that. Something that undermines free flow.
So you're looking at like your pile on your kitchen table. You don't even know what it is, or your closet that's full of stuff that you can't even, get into anymore. Things are tools helping inspire new growth. That's a thing. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to take up scuba diving, for instance, you're going to need a tank. That's kind of a critical thing for scuba diving. I like this example because you can't go scuba diving without a tank.
That's true.
So a scuba tank is a thing. And when you're using it, it's important for inspiring your new growth, your new experiences. And if you go scuba diving once and then you stash your tank in your garage and you don't scuba dive anymore, ever, it becomes stuff. So that now becomes like, you don't scuba dive, you don't use it, let it go, move it on. So another big part of what I do is helping people detach from their stuff and either turn it into a thing or get rid of it. So there's a lot of decluttering mind, body, soul, environment decluttering that I do as well. So,
Oh, I love that. So just to make sure that people understood exactly what you said,
mhm,
things
mhm.
are, what's the acronym for things?
Tools helping inspire new growth.
Tools helping inspire new growth. So
That's the
when you
thing.
have things
Mhm.
that
And
you're utilizing, that you're not stashing as stuff,
right.
you keep the flow. And then stuff is
Something that undermines free flow.
awesome. Oh, I love that. I love that.
So the chair you're sitting on is definitely a thing. You need your
Yes,
chair because it's part of your workspace. You need your computer, so we need all of these things to do our lives and to
correct.
experience our lives. So yeah.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to start looking at my house with things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff and things. And
My
I'm
kids
still
are
I'm still
trained.
unpacking and
Yeah.
figuring out where to put my stuff
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so that it'll become things. And I just
Right.
started a charity box
Yes,
on
exactly.
this is really good. It's useful, but it's not useful for me.
Right. And there, I do have a free download on my website that is the decluttering guidelines. So anybody can grab that off of my website too, which is it's a PDF, and it just walks you through that process of, do I need this? Do I love this? And all the questions. So that's a critical part of doing this is decluttering.
Oh, absolutely. And what is your website for individuals that are hot and ready to declutter and asking those critical questions?
My website is flowganize.com. It's FLOW, like the word flow, and then GANIZE, like organize. So flowganize.com. You can also go to my primary umbrella website, which has a link to it, which is AndreaNicoleKing.com. So I have both of those. They're connected.
Oh, awesome. So the one website is Flowgains, which is FLOWGANIZ as in Zephyr
Correct.
E.com.
Flowganize.
Flowganize. And you
Yeah.
have this, you do flow. You truly flowganize in so many different areas. And why would people want to work with you? And can you work with people who are not physically with you?
Yes, I've done a few sessions with people just like we are right now. We do a video call. Typically, they're using their phone. I use Facebook video, works really great
Mhm.
as far as a tool for that. And I will basically have them walk around and show me their environment. We'll talk first. So there's a 3-step process to it where we discuss first, we talk about what's going on in their life. Then there's an assessment where we look at the environment, and then the progress is the plan. So there's a three-part thing. Generally, when we're assessing it, we connect their life to their environment, and they go, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is," or they're like, "I don't want to show you my closet." I'm like, "Just, it's fine. There's nothing I haven't seen." So it's definitely possible in video. I've done several sessions that way, and it's just as effective. And then I email over that final plan as well. So there's easy communication with technology now. It's wonderful. So I can work with pretty much anyone, anywhere. And it's I do coaching as well as the whole Flowganize process. So there is a 15-minute call where I'll talk with someone first and see, like, what do you really need? Because you might not need a 3-hour session. You might just need like maybe a half an hour to sort some things out. And I love doing that too. I have a lady I'm calling later today that I just marketing and branding and that stuff as well. So she's looking just for some input on a logo. And I said, well, even if I'm not the one that you need to work with, I have some connections and I'd love to connect you. So I really like helping people get into their superpowers and finding their purpose and doing all of that stuff. And I offer in a few different ways. So whatever people need, and generally in that 15-minute call, I can, help them figure out what they need and how to get it, whether it's me or somebody else. It doesn't matter to me. I just want their end result to be a good one.
Yeah, and that's really important to have the end result so
Mm-hmm.
that people are able to, they feel free
Mm-hmm.
to talk to you and say, hey, I've got 15 minutes and I'm not sure if this is a feng shui issue. I'm not sure if it's for their business. You do organization and flow with people's businesses too, because you use the same principles. Is that correct?
It is. I have a new program that I'm working on right now that will launch probably in the next few months that's called Biz Flow. And that's for small businesses. And it would be more like a 3 to 6 month process kind of a thing to work with them to get everything in their whole business done. Because it's kind of intensive work. I'll be really honest. This is self-work. This is self-improvement, self-growth. And when you look at your stuff that's going on, it doesn't change overnight. And if you expect it to, or you think it's going to, you're just going to be disappointed because it's not a fix-all pill. It's an awareness, and then there's taking some steps forward and then checking in. So it's a growth process. One of my long-term clients, I've been working with him for 2 years. His life is completely turned around. He's a totally different person. He's extremely happy, healthy, successful, very wonderfully just thrilled with all aspects of his life now. And it's been really fun to watch him go through that. And he has done his work. I have not done his work for him. I've been there with him, guiding and, catalyzing and initializing and all of these things, and watched him like, yeah, that's next, and it's going to hurt for a while, but then it'll be better. And he's like, okay, I can do this. So working with people on an individual level in their homes is very intensive, and it takes a lot to make that devotion to yourself to do the work. So it's a big commitment to yourself, but it's worth it. So worth it.
That's such a big commitment to yourself, and it's an investment that always pays dividends.
Oh, gosh, yes.
On a long-term basis. There's things that I started enacting in my life 20 some years ago, and I still do check-ins every once in a while, and I you couldn't have I can't even imagine my life where it would have been had I not enacted some of these things that were really hard back then.
Right.
And it affects your money, it affects your relationships, it affects your health and your abilities to have happiness and freedom and joy in your life.
Yeah.
So Andrea, we're just about at the top of the time that we say farewell to our audience. Is there any last tips or strategies you'd like to give our audience before we say our farewells and we recap?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is be really honest with who you are and what you want and how you feel. And if you aren't happy with your life, and if there's things that aren't working, find a way to change that. Find somebody. It doesn't have to be me. Find somebody to help you. And asking for help is a huge step that all of us have to go through learning, is ask for help, and then ask for help. And when you start receiving help, you allow your life to change, and you begin meeting people who are really genuinely there. And also remember that when you ask for help, you're giving someone else an opportunity to give. So for all you overgivers out there, time to ask for help and receive. I know, me too.
Yes.
But it creates relationships and exchange that helps everybody. So thank you for inviting me and, allowing me to be on your show to share this, because it's just an honor to talk to you and to be able to get information out to the world that, will help anybody on any level. Just maybe an inspiration of, yes, I want to go do something with my time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to thank you for being on the show. I mean, we've talked about things, we've talked about stuff, which are the acronyms. We've talked about this incredible guide that you've got on your website, which I'm really excited. I want to download that today and start doing my little checklist. And that's you have two different websites. The one website is flowganize.com. Flowganize.com. And then the other website is your name, which is Andrea Nicole King. And I'm going to spell that for individuals listening to the podcast. It's ANDREA NICOLE King, KING.com. Andrea Nicole King. And, go to her website, check out her decluttering, and take her up on that 15-minute offer that she's given you, so that you can, figure out if maybe she might be somebody you might want to work with, or she's got a resource, or maybe you'll find out it's like, oh, I guess I don't have to work with somebody, but that just gave me an idea. Now I'm going to start on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. There's also a download for clearing energy. So that's also it's on the footer of the webpage. So you could just, on the Flocanize website, that just talks about clearing energy in your spaces too. So there's some great free resources there.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love, love, love energy clearings. And I'd love to see how you do the energy clearings. It might be a little bit different than what I do.
Yeah, it offers a lot of methods because everybody needs something different. So there's several methods on there. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, Andrea, thank you for being on the Wealthy Wednesday show. I am so excited that we've had this conversation. I'm really excited about finishing up my day today and checking out the different downloads. I didn't get time shortly before our call to look at them, but now I'm really excited.
Awesome.
And I want to thank my audience. You're the reason why I've been doing the Wealthy Wednesday show. This coming March is going to be 4 years, if you can believe it. 4 years.
Wow.
And I'm so excited. We've got on Spotify, we're on iHeart, iTunes, and you can even get your own app of the Wealthy Wednesday show on the iPhone and on the Android. So be sure to check us out. Share this with your friends, your family. Post it on social media. Give us a shout out because I want to empower you. And the way I can do that is by having you share this with other people. So thank you for listening. And until next week, abundant blessings. Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the 6 figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday Show. I'm your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I'd really appreciate it if you would share this with your friends, your family, your tribe, and let other people know that the Wealthy Wednesday Show is creating a movement to make this world a better place, and we rely on you to get the word out so that we can create mass influence. So until next time, abundant blessings.